Wouldn't you say that that is sort of like the answer to life, when we can be completely okay regardless of what emotional state we're in? To distract myself, to indulge in pleasures, to think that, okay, this is pain, I need to move towards pleasure straight away. 99.999999% of the time, every time we feel fear or unsafe or in survival, it has nothing to do with our current circumstances. So it's nothing bad. Nothing is ever good or bad. Everything just is what it is. Allowing things to be exactly as they are is something that I'm getting more and more used to. Because I woke up today and I had a little bit of pain coming my way. Hopelessness, bit of grief, bit of fear. When I woke up today, didn't really feel like I wanted to do anything. Felt like I wanted to isolate, felt like I wanted to sit by my computer and not really go for a walk or not really talk to the camera at all. But this is something that I used to really struggle with, because I used to feel bad for feeling bad. I used to make my bad days bad. And what I have realized on this path is that pain and pleasure will always come and go. I don't need to resist pain. Just because I have a bad day, I don't need to make that bad day, a worse day, right? I can actually make a good bad day instead of a bad day. And even when pleasure comes, I don't need to keep chasing it as if it's never gonna arise again. If pleasure comes, I let it come and then I let it go as it goes. I don't need to go down the rabbit hole of pleasure and just indulge in everything that feels nice or that is comfortable, right? So a really big insight for myself is to learn to let everything be exactly as it is. Learn to let things be exactly as they are. Even when you have a bad day, to not think that I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't think these thoughts. I shouldn't have these emotions of fear, hopelessness, sadness, whatever, in me. Fact is that they should be there. And even looking at the world right now, looking at whatever is happening in the world, I'm not a big person, I'm not big into media, I'm not doing that at all, because it only fuels this sense of these emotions that I'm talking about today. But it's impossible to deny that everyone seems like we're on the edge of something. It feels like the world is ending. We have so many things going on in the world, and it's very difficult to stay centered in that, because I realized the last couple of weeks I've had thoughts from the Matrix, I've had thoughts from the media being planted in my mind as I haven't experienced it in a while. And I've been walking around and I've been thinking about things. I've been lost in the dream. I've been lost in the stories of the world. And I haven't been as present as I'm used to being. And that is a perfect test. A perfect test. First of all, to not feel shame or guilt or think that, oh, I'm not present, I should be more present. To not blame ourselves for not being present, and to not blame ourselves for reacting to things of the world, or to blame ourselves for having a bad day. But it's a really good practice to let go of that sort of judgment we have towards ourselves and the world. You can just realize that, okay, there are things happening, that's okay, and I'm gonna react to that, and that's okay. So we don't have to get stuck or entangled in the drama. We can just allow the drama to be what it is. Because let's face it, it's only our perception of what is going on that is making us react in a certain way. And it's only the resistance towards those reactions that actually make us suffer. So if we can learn to let pain be exactly what it is, like, okay, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel hopeless. That's okay. When we learn that all of these things are okay, not just the pleasurable emotions, love, peace, freedom, joy, reason, purpose, but that we're actually human. We get affected by stuff. We get affected by, society. Society is pushing us in a way now that is painful. And when we can learn to accept that we also have the lower vibrational emotions, such as hopelessness or fear or sadness or shame or guilt or all of those ones, when we learn to embrace the entire spectrum of what it's like to be human, wouldn't you say that that is sort of like the answer to life, when we can be completely okay regardless of what emotional state we're in? We're not trying to get out of it. We're actually fully embracing it, meaning that we do get out of it a lot quicker, with a lot less resistance. And it's easier to be ourselves then, because wouldn't you say that that is the most authentic way of showing up ever? Not to deny our own humanity, not to deny lower vibrational emotions, but to actually embrace them and say that I have a bad day, that's okay. I don't need to make it I don't need to make it a worse bad day. I can actually make it a good bad day. What would I normally do when I wake up and feel energized and happy and inspired to do something? I would go out, talking from my own perspective, I would walk out in the sun, I would go train, I would record some videos, I would edit those, I would make things that make me feel good, right? I would make a good bad day out of that. I would channel the pain into something productive instead of like going into the pain. I mean, that's also something we can do actually, to sit with the pain, but to not try and suppress it, to distract myself, to indulge in pleasures, to think that, okay, this is pain, I need to move towards pleasure straight away. We don't need that. We survive anyway. It's not dangerous to have a bad day. It's not dangerous to feel fear or sadness or hopelessness. It might feel like it's dangerous. Your mind might telling you that you need to do something, you need to distract yourself, otherwise you're gonna die, something like that, right? But it's not, it's just thoughts, just illusions, playing tricks on your mind that you believe to be true. Oh no, this is dangerous, I can't feel scared. We fear fear, we fear hopelessness, we fear grief, because they put us in fight or flight. But the problem is that when we are in fight or flight, trying to desperately get out of it, it creates even more fight or flight. It creates more survival, more stress, more worry. I'm not safe feeling bad. I'm not safe having a low day. Right? Of course you're safe. I mean, unless you're chased by a tiger or something, then you're unsafe. But how often would you say that your fears actually rational? When was the last time you experienced rational fear? It's like, I can't even remember last time. I was probably a kid or something, almost being hit by a car or whatever, right? So 99.9999999% of the time, every time we feel fear or unsafe or in survival, it has nothing to do with our current circumstances. It's how we respond to our current circumstances. And I'm not saying that your life situation is not important. Of course it matters, but it doesn't matter as much as our current state of awareness, because if we always nurtured our own state of awareness, we would never be in fight or flight unless we were actually chased by a tiger. We would never be stressed. We would always be present, and we would always make better decisions. Because when we are in fight or flight, our decision making is way worse. Our focus is way worse. Our clarity is way worse. So just by embracing this entire thing, that okay, some days I'm gonna wake up and I'm not gonna feel as energized. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have a low day. And even labeling the day as bad is also like, why do we do that? It's just another day. Okay, I have energy in my body that feels heavier. That's okay. Some days I wake up with energy that is lighter. That's also okay. I don't need to make it into something extraordinary or extraordinarily bad. It's just is what it is, right? So it's actually pain, emotional pain. If I take myself as an example, fears, sadness, hopelessness, they're actually so like the catalysts that they are for deeper growth and understanding of who we are, taking us deeper into presence. They are invaluable. Nothing even comes close to pain, what that actually does for us. When we learn to let go of resistance towards that, that is like an invitation to entering the heart even deeper. More bliss, more peace, more freedom. And yes, we will still experience pain, even if we are like Jesus or Buddha or someone. Pain will never go. But it's the resistance towards the pain that tells us that I'm unsafe, I can't live like this, I'm not supposed to feel this way. That creates all the tension in our nervous system, all the tension in our bodies, all the disease. It keeps us stuck in this loop. And then we're reaching for pleasures. Like, I need this pleasure, I need this relationship, or I need this addiction, bad habit. to get away from the pain. And so we rely on the bad habit or the addiction to take the pain away, keeping us stuck in that loop of always attracting that which we're trying to get away from. Because we're also feeling shame in the addiction or the bad habit. We're even resisting that. We think in the back of our mind that I shouldn't do this. But now when I'm having a bad day, it's okay. I'm feeling sad. It's okay to do this addiction, right? So we keep ourselves stuck in that entire loop. Every time that we feel sad or pain or fear, whatever, we will reach for that thing that will comfort us. And then we will feel shame towards that, resisting that entire thing, which keeps us stuck in this entire loop of resistance and suffering. Just for waking up feeling a little bit low, right? Having heavier energy than normal. So it's nothing bad. Nothing is ever good or bad. Everything just is what it is. But having a bad day is not something that we need to do anything about. There's nothing to do. Just be curious about that. Like, what is this? What is this pain? Is it because I was watching the news last night? Is it because I'm entering a new stage of my life? Is it because I'm allowing things to end? Is it because there are new beginnings happening, both in my own life but also on the planet? Is there a lot of closure coming up? You know, all of these things, they affect us. And we have to release that, we have to accept that, because everything is always changing. Everything is always changing, except one thing, and that is the sense of I in all of us. The I, the sense of I, is the same in all of us, regardless if you have a bad day or a good day, regardless if you are sick, regardless if you are depressed, regardless if you are on a rocket towards the moon, on your way towards the moon, regardless if you are just landing the best business ever, if you're like, you know, winning the lottery. The I is always unbothered in a state of whatever. I'm fine regardless of good vibes, bad vibes. I'm just in the center, always peaceful, always still, never changing, always complete, always curious, always home. And so that, coming back to that, if we're waking up in pain, who is aware of the pain? Who is aware that there's pain in my body? Who's aware that I have joy, love, peace, freedom in my body? Who's aware of the I? And what does it feel like to be aware of the I? What does the feeler of the I feel like? So it's really just getting back to that, recognizing that, okay, this pain is pushing me deeper into presence, deeper understanding of who I am. I. If you're interested in coaching, click the first link in my description. I got guided meditations on my Patreon, which is the second link. Subscribe if you want to. Thank you for watching as well. Like and comment if you want to. And I see you next time. Bye.